Okay. This is for record books. Here is my MOZ7 V2. I built myself. It is not a bind and fly. And I have flown it a total of 4 times now. And on my 4th flight, I decided to push it and see what kind of range I could get without flying very high, but trying to fly far. And when I started losing signal, I tried to recover it. Then I tried to force GPS recovery mode, and she ended up flying from about 65-70 feet at about probably 20-25 miles per hour straight into the ground. GoPro survived. There was a GoPro on it. You can't see that right now. It's actually the GoPro I'm recording with. So GoPro survived. It had 2 batteries on it. I have this lead cable I'm using to be able to hook 2 batteries. Just using the Pizza 1500s. One of them is currently being discharged because it's not going to be safe to use anymore. So one was sitting like this. The other one was sitting like this. Actually, this one was sitting like this. The one that was in the front, because of this metal here, got shoved from the impact forward, and it was wrinkly on the bottom, and on the 2 sides it was bulging. So it is being discharged and won't be used anymore. As you can see, I really haven't done anything with it yet since I picked it up. Kind of wanted to do this on camera and see what it looks like. What I will bring over is, here's the other prop that came off of it. And it looks to me like it may have been spinning while it was on the ground. I'm not 100% sure what would have caused that, but you can hear from the GoPro footage while it's on the ground, you can hear one of the motors still spinning. It did not immediately shut all the motors off. There was at least one motor still spinning, and we'll see what kind of damage there is to the flight controllers or the motors or anything like that. So at the moment, I have no idea what I'm in for. So let's dive into it and find out what the damage is. First thing, and I was very glad I did this last second. So I had an ND filter on the GoPro, and I remembered that I had an ND filter that came with the Avatar Moonlight, and so I decided to throw that on there. Glad I did, because that is broken glass. But it looks like take a look at that. Sweet. It looks like it did not crack the actual camera lens though. So that took the blunt to the impact, it looks like. Let's start by getting these props off, and then we'll kind of take a look at how well the frame took the impact. So as far as looking at these props, besides the obvious damage of that one, these front props really don't look like they have a whole lot of damage on the front props. It definitely flew and hit the ground front end first and just flew straight into it at an angle. But like this prop here, if you were to clean it up, I have flown with way worse props than that. Little something courtesy of the field we landed in. This prop here definitely hit the ground and bent it a little bit. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, that one. That tip definitely got bent. That one looks fine. That one looks fine. A little bit of a marking there. But besides that, she looks good. A little bit more foliage. But besides that, and dirty motors, looks pretty decent. Last one back here. As I was going up and recovering the drone, the flight controller was still powered on from the batteries, and the GPS was still broadcasting a signal. So that gives me hope that at least the flight controller is potentially all still working fine. Also, the receiver was broadcasting. I've only owned it for a little bit, but I have the newer Radiomaster TX15. Probably because it's a new radio, I've been diving into more of the features that the radio is actually capable of using. Before I used the Boxer. Really didn't dive too much into the features on it, just kind of used it as is. But I'm sure it's capable of doing some of the stuff that the TX15 could do. It's just TX15 was the first one I did it on. But what I'm referring to is on the TX15 in the menu, because of the GPS, you can go to a screen that literally gives you a QR code for the GPS signal, and you can just put that into Google Maps and literally walk pretty much right up to the drone. So let's take a peek at this thing. Let's get these straps out of the way. First glance, take a look at the side here. Doesn't look like there's really any damage that is standing out to me. These are bent on this one. This back one is bent as well. Got the TPU ripped for the GoPro mount. Not surprising. But as far as the frame goes, the frame does not look like it really took any kind of damage. There's a pretty hard hit, I would say. Not too worried about if any of the screws came loose or anything like that. It was a hard hit. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. So, but that's a good sign. One of my antennas got bent up pretty good here. Took a hard hit. Let's get under the hood here. Let me grab a screwdriver. Let me grab a couple. I should need a 2 mil. That's a 1.5, and I think I need a 2.2 potentially. We'll grab all 3 of those. So, building this MOZ7 was a lot of fun. There's actually quite a bit of room underneath this to kind of get all your wires tucked away and have a really nice clean build. Or, because of the side covers and everything, if you wanted to, you could just throw it all in there, close the lid, and pretend it never happened. And nobody would know. Let's try to keep this somewhat organized. Take this top lid off. Ooh. Ooh. That's a burn mark right there. And it looks like it came from the capacitor. Right there. So the capacitor, I don't know if that's still connected, but that definitely took a beating, it looks like. Alright, to get these side plates off, they just slide off, except that they have one screw on the front. I'll have to take this whole thing apart to clean it anyways, so that one off. If I can find it under the dirt. Take that one off. Dun, dun, dun. This is just plastic. I don't expect there to be anything wrong with this. Yep, those look perfectly fine. Alright. Well, at first glance, everything looks okay besides that capacitor. Looks like there might be a little bit of a dirt or burn mark here. Can't tell. I think the video receiver's okay. Don't know for sure. You know what? Let's just go for broke. And see what happens. Because I already know a lot of this was working. I'm going to use this as an extension cable just to kind of get this out of the way. Alright. Let's put you like this. Get my little buddy fan out here. See if I can't figure out a way to do this. If she goes up in smoke, we can all see it. And then I got my controller turned on. I'm gonna plug my headset in, see if I get video from it. Video from this is actually, I should probably put an antennas back on. Yeah. Ugh. Bend those back. That's rough looking. So actually, it really doesn't matter now that I think about it. So this is the Avatar GTX receiver transmitter, VTX. There you go. It has two little mini antennas built into it for when it's in low power mode. Basically, you haven't armed the drone yet. Did not know that when I first bought it. Eventually figured it out, and the way I figured it out was wondering why before, when it was just sitting on the ground, wasn't armed or anything yet, just sitting on the ground, powered up, I had like horrible video reception. Made no sense to me. I'm like, you should have perfect reception sitting right next to me. Turns out, looking through the actual material for it, underneath this plate, it's got two little mini antennas, and that is what it uses before the drone gets armed. Once the drone is armed, then it'll actually use the main antennas and you have proper signal strength. Alright, check this real quick. Yep. Alright, so we are on and powered on. My radio, it's off to the side, you can't see it, but it's on. Here, I'll put it right here. Yeah, cool. So let's plug this in and see if it gives us a little jingle. I'm gonna assume it'll be fine because it was still plugged in when I came and picked it up, and it had probably been sitting on the ground for a good 15 minutes maybe by the time I picked it up. So this should be fine. Yep. Radio says we're connected. And I got a green light. And I got video. Doesn't look like the lens is cracked at all. It's got a good video still coming through. Everything, all the telemetry, everything looks good. I can't remember if I can arm this or not. So it doesn't have GPS locks yet, but I believe I have it set up where if it doesn't have GPS locks, I can still arm it. It just won't have return to home function. So let's find out what happens when we arm it. Holy smokes, they're all spinning. Let's bump it up a bit. I don't want to go too much because I don't know what's up with this capacitor, but it does have this particular Flywoo board. Also came with a TVS board. I think I'm saying that right. So it has that connected as well as this capacitor, which is a 1000 farad. Let's bump it up a little. Yep. She seems happy. That's wild. That was a hard crash for it to be saying it's just perfectly fine. I'm excited. Alright, I actually have 8 satellites now. Well, this was kind of anticlimactic. Looks like the drone's healthy. Looks like everything's fine. This will kind of be a cool learning experience for me, because this is the first time. I'm kind of curious as to what happened with it. I know I lost video. I was definitely pushing the limits of flying it that far away, and video signal and video strength. I made the wrong decision under the circumstances as to what I should do to recover it. I should have punched upward and tried to get altitude in order to better the signal. Instead, under really bad signal and breaking up signal, I tried to flip a 180 and try and bring it back towards me, which I should have known wasn't going to work. For some reason, if anyone knows why, that'd be cool. With these antennas, when I initially flip a 180 with this and start bringing it back towards me, my signal drops. So I can have, even close by, I can have a perfectly good signal, flip a 180 to bring it back towards me, and my signal drops momentarily. Then it comes back up. Don't know why. Don't know if it's an antenna thing. I don't know if I need longer antennas, if that's why. But that's kind of something that's going on right now. It'll be kind of curious. I don't know what the black box recorded. It'll be kind of interesting to see what is on the black box, because I did try and kick it into GPS rescue mode before it hit the dirt. Don't know if I did that quick enough. Watching the video footage from the GoPro, I may have already added that in here. It hit the dirt pretty quick from when I tried cueing it to go into GPS rescue, because I was only like 70 feet off the ground, I think, when it all went down. So it all happened so quick. But lessons learned. Don't try to flip it around a 180 when you have horrible video. Either go straight to GPS rescue and tell it to do it, or punch it up. I've heard so many guys talk about, you know, when you're flying low, punch it up and get some altitude and you can get your signal back. Especially with having the antenna setup that I have on my walk snails. I probably should have just punched it up, and I probably would have been able to get perfectly good signal with it and would have avoided this. Luckily, it looks like, besides props and my ND filter for my Moonlight's not on this, it's on another drone, and maybe some TPU prints, it looks like I might have gotten out of this very minimum. So yeah, that is my recap of what happened. And I have noticed, maybe I didn't get away with everything. I've been noticing off to the side I have my tablet running to video all of this, and I've been noticing this weird digital flicker. So GoPro might be more damaged than I thought. So I'll play this video back and see if the GoPro is actually damaged or not. Luckily, I have the warranty for it. I'll just go exchange it for another one if it is damaged. If not, we'll keep flying. That's all.